All right, this year has proven to be a very expensive one. According to data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics, egg prices jumped, get this, 49% this year. Here to break it all down, economist Stephen Moore. You know, when you start with egg prices going up 49%, that leads to so many other, an economist like you must love to run. When you see a headline number like that, there's so many ways you can go with it. What does it make you think?
Well, I think that inflation has been just a killer for American families over the last year. You know, the inflation rate hit as high as 9%. Remember this summer, it's receded a little bit down to about 7.1% right now. But for the year, you're looking at, incomes growing much more slowly than inflation is. So the average family is paying a high price for this inflation. We estimate at the Heritage Foundation about $4,000 per family of lost purchasing power as a result. That's why it's so funny when you look at these, look at the jobs report, all these jobs created. Did you know a lot of those people are people working second jobs so they can just keep up with the rate of inflation?
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, and eggs aren't the only thing on all of us. You go to the gas pump, of course, and we've seen gas going up. What is it? Supposedly $4 gas could come back as early as this coming spring. Here's what gets me, Stephen.
I'm already paying $4 a gallon. I don't know what they're talking about. A lot of states are
I know. I'm still
paying
paying for it. Yeah, absolutely. I don't know how they get those. Maybe out in the middle of nowhere, you can get it for $2.50 or something. But I haven't.
Me neither.
I certainly am not paying that.
But the big
so let me tell you.
I was just going to say the big oil with gas right now is that China's economy has been essentially shut down for the last 3 or 4 months because of their militaristic and inhumane shutdown of their economy and stay-at-home orders. But now that they're reopening their economy, finally, what do you think that's going to do to oil and gas demand? It's going to increase it. So I'm in the camp that says that we are probably going to see some rising prices at the pump in the United States over the next couple of months.
What about the rest of the inflation? Because the goal from rising interest rates has been to stifle some of that inflation. Seems to be working to some extent. Play this out for us, if you could.
It's always hard to predict these things, especially when it comes to energy prices. But my view is that I do think we're going to see inflation slow down to about 5%. Now, look, that's still a really high rate of inflation. It's still one of the highest rates in decades, but it's an improvement from 9%. But what worries me is the economy seems to be tanking a little bit. I don't know if we're going to go into a severe recession, but I mean, all the signals right now that you look at are pointing south right now, almost all of them. Look at the housing market. Look what's happening with manufacturing. A lot of the tech firms are pulling back on employment. So it's just not a good picture right now. And I realize that a lot of that constriction that's coming in the economy is the price that you have to pay to wring that inflation out of the economy. And of course, why did the inflation happen? Because we spent and borrowed $4 trillion we don't have. I mean, it was obvious. I'm just surprised there were so many economists who said, gee, where did all this inflation come from? What did they think was going to happen when we spent all that money?
Yeah, and this isn't a business network, so we won't get into it, but also all the debt that the Fed bought kind of bugs me because as much as on its palette. Yeah,
no, that's exactly my point. If you spend and borrow and print money, you're going to get inflation. That's Economics 100. And I'm surprised, by the way, there were 14 Nobel Prize economists last year who said, don't worry about inflation. Maybe they should give their PhDs back.
Yeah. Well, it makes me want to jump into the stock market now because when everything's looking bad, that's when they start looking ahead. So that'll be another conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stephen Moore, thank you so much.
Always good to be with you. Happy New Year.